Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever laid in bed at night, heart pounding, mind racing, wondering, is this all there is? You work, you grind, you try your best, but deep inside, you feel like you're just existing, not truly living. You're not where you want to be, not who you want to be. And the worst part, you feel stuck. That's the battle millions are facing right now, living in the shadow of their own potential, settling for less than they were created for. Today, we're going to solve that. We're going to awaken the part of you that's been buried under fear, fatigue, and failure. We're going to remind you of this. Don't stop until you're proud. There's something sacred about the human spirit. Deep down in every one of us is a fire that refuses to be extinguished, a hunger for more than mediocrity, a calling to live with meaning, with power, with purpose. But life doesn't hand us greatness. It demands that we fight for it. And most people give up too soon. They stop at comfortable. They stop at good enough, but what if you didn't? What if you kept going? Not until it's easy, not until it's accepted, not until they clap for you, but until you're proud of the person looking back at you in the mirror? That's what today is all about. There's a whisper that echoes in the heart of every man and woman who feels stuck in life. It's the quiet nudge that says, there's more. More to who you are, more to what you were born to do, more to what your life could become. You weren't created to live a life of silence, surrender, and self-doubt. You weren't formed in your mother's womb to just pay bills, please people, and pass time. No, you were made for something far greater. You were never meant to stay small, but somehow, along the way, we started to believe the lie. The lie that told us we are limited by our upbringing, by our education, by our failures. The lie that told us if we didn't succeed by a certain age, it was too late. The lie that told us dreams are for other people. So we shrink. We shrink to fit into the spaces people give us. We quiet our voice because we're afraid of judgment. We lower our expectations because we're afraid of disappointment. And over time, we start living a life that's not even close to the one we were designed for. You were not created for a life of mediocrity. You were created with divine intention. Every breath in your lungs is a signal from heaven that you still have purpose. Every heartbeat is proof that there's something you're meant to do that no one else can. Your story, your scars, your struggles, none of them are accidents. They are part of the preparation. They are part of what gives you the authority to rise. But you cannot rise if you keep playing small. You cannot step into your calling if you're still clinging to your comfort. The danger of staying small is that you'll begin to believe the world's version of your worth. And the world will always underestimate you. It will try to box you in, label you, tell you to be realistic, to stop dreaming, to settle down. But listen closely, realism has never birthed revival. Playing it safe has never changed a soul. You don't honor your Creator by shrinking. You honor Him by stepping fully into the identity He gave you. When you walk around pretending you don't have power, when you speak as though your voice doesn't matter, when you act like your life doesn't count, you're not being humble. You're being disobedient to the greatness placed inside you. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It's thinking of yourself accurately as someone chosen, equipped, and called. You are not small. You are not average. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are a miracle in motion. You are a vessel of potential, designed by the hands of the Almighty. The question isn't whether you have potential. The question is whether you're willing to wake it up. Are you willing to stop listening to the opinions of people who never built anything themselves? Are you willing to push past the pain of failure and rise again? Are you willing to take responsibility for your gift instead of making excuses for your delay? You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to be willing. Willing to believe that your current situation is not your final destination. Willing to trust that even when you don't feel strong, strength can rise inside you. Willing to believe that even the smallest seed can grow into the tallest tree if it's nurtured with faith and effort. Don't wait for someone to give you permission to become who you were created to be. Stop asking for approval. Stop waiting for applause. Your greatness is not dependent on people recognizing it. It's dependent on you developing it. You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not too broken. You're exactly where you need to be to begin again, to stretch, to grow. But you've got to stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Growth isn't easy. It's uncomfortable. It demands sacrifice. It requires that you step out of the smallness you've been living in and walk boldly into unfamiliar territory. But if you stay small just to avoid discomfort, you'll never know the joy of becoming who you truly are. There is no pride in hiding your light. There is no reward for staying silent when you are meant to roar. You were born with dreams for a reason. You were given gifts for a reason. You've survived what you've been through for a reason. The world doesn't need a smaller version of you. It needs the real you, the bold you, the awakened you, the you who stops letting fear drive the car, the you who stands tall even when your knees shake, the you who refuses to settle for a life that doesn't stir your soul. And yes, there will be resistance. There will be people who don't understand. There will be days you feel like giving up. But don't confuse pressure with misdirection. Diamonds are only made under pressure. You don't need everything to be easy, you just need the courage to keep going. Every step you take out of smallness is a step into your divine potential. Every day you choose growth over comfort is a day you get closer to becoming someone you can be proud of. Every moment you silence the lies of limitation is a moment you amplify the truth of who you really are. Pain. The word itself carries weight. It's the thing we try to avoid, the thing we pray to escape, the thing we believe is a sign something's gone wrong. But what if that pain you're feeling isn't the enemy? What if it's the very proof that you're moving in the right direction? What if it's not punishment but preparation? The truth is, pain has a purpose, and that purpose is growth. And no one ever becomes someone they're proud of without walking through it. Every mountain climbed, every battle won, every victory tasted, it was all forged in the fire of discomfort. It didn't happen in the soft seasons, the easy moments, or the times when everything was going according to plan. Growth is never born in comfort zones. It's birthed in the trenches. It's developed in the waiting rooms. It's shaped in the struggle, when everything inside of you is screaming to quit, but you keep putting one foot in front of the other. Anyway, pain is the evidence that you're stretching beyond where you were yesterday. It's the tension between who you are and who you're becoming. And if you're feeling pain right now, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual, it might not mean you're broken. It might mean you're being built. Trees don't grow taller without their roots digging deeper into dark, unseen soil. Muscles don't grow stronger without first tearing under pressure. Purpose doesn't emerge without pain pressing it out of you. But we've been conditioned to think that pain means we need to stop. We've been told that if something is hard, it must not be meant for us. That's a lie. Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's wrong. Just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's not divine. In fact, the deeper the purpose, the more intense the pain that will refine it. You cannot carry weight without being strengthened to do so, and that strengthening doesn't happen in silence and sunshine. It happens in the storm. The greatest leaders, the most powerful voices, the boldest warriors you've ever seen, they didn't just stumble into greatness. They were chiseled by challenge. They bled behind the scenes. They cried when no one was watching. They fell to their knees and got up with shaking hands. They kept walking through the fire, not because they were fearless, but because they had decided that growth was worth more than comfort. And they understood one sacred truth: pain is the price of becoming. We live in a world that tells us to numb it, run from it, medicate it, escape it. But the soul doesn't grow in silence, it grows through resistance. When you stop running from pain and start learning from it, you unlock the very thing that pain was trying to give you all along: power. Power to overcome. Power to endure. Power to love deeper, lead stronger, rise higher. If you would stop trying to avoid every discomfort, you might finally become the version of yourself you've been dreaming of. Pain is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It's showing you where your weaknesses are so they can be strengthened. It's revealing the broken beliefs that need to be rebuilt. It's confronting the fear that needs to be crushed. And it's not here to destroy you, it's here to deliver you. Deliver you from a life that's beneath your potential. Deliver you from excuses, from fear, from settling. Every tear, every trial, every heartbreak, it's not wasted. It's shaping you. There is no shortcut to transformation. You cannot pray your way out of growth. You cannot wish your way around the process. You have to go through it. You have to feel the weight, carry the burden, wrestle with the questions. You have to face the fire and trust that the flames aren't there to burn you, they're there to burn away what doesn't belong in your future. The pain you're feeling today could be the very pressure that's pushing you into your next level. When you begin to see pain not as an interruption, but as instruction, everything changes. Suddenly you stop complaining and start listening. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What's this teaching me?" You begin to understand that even the breaking is part of the building, that even your darkest nights carry the seeds of your brightest mornings, that the very things you thought were going to break you are the things God is using to remake you. Don't resent the process. Don't curse the climb. You might not see it now, but the pain has purpose. The heartbreak has meaning. The setbacks have strategy. Every time you chose to keep going when it would have been easier to stop, you were gaining strength. Every time you decided to stand back up when life knocked you flat, you were proving you are more powerful than your past. Every painful moment you've survived is a brick in the foundation of your future strength. And yes, it's hard. It's supposed to be. Growth always costs something. It costs comfort. It costs ego. It costs control. But what you gain in return: character, resilience, pride, purpose, that's worth every tear. That's worth every sleepless night. That's worth every time you felt like giving up but didn't. You are not weak because you feel pain. You are strong because you face it. You are courageous because you walk through it. And when the day comes that you finally rise into the life you were meant to live, you'll look back and realize the pain wasn't punishment. It was preparation. It was proof that you didn't stop. It was proof that you were growing. Motivation. Feels good, doesn't it? It's that electric jolt that hits your spirit when you hear something powerful or visualize your dreams with clarity. It's the rush that fills your chest after watching an inspiring video, listening to a sermon, or reading a powerful book. Motivation is the spark, and yes, you need that spark to light the fire. But a spark alone doesn't keep the fire burning. It doesn't sustain you in the darkness. It doesn't carry you through the storms. That's where discipline steps in. Motivation may get you started, but only discipline will take you across the finish line. You don't always feel like showing up. You don't always wake up ready to run toward your calling. There are days when the alarm goes off and the bed feels safer than the battlefield. Days when the dream seems far and the pain feels close. That's when most people quit because they were fueled by feelings, and feelings are fleeting. They change with the weather, with the season, with your circumstances. Discipline isn't built on feelings. It's built on decisions. It's built on commitments. It's built on the refusal to negotiate with your excuses. Discipline is when you do the work even when the applause has stopped. It's waking up early, not because you feel inspired, but because you made a promise to yourself. It's opening the book when the mind is tired, hitting the gym when the body is sore, praying when the spirit is dry. Discipline is consistency in motion. It's faithfulness applied. It's the daily grind that no one sees but everyone respects when the results show up. You don't become someone you're proud of by accident. You become that person by routine, by patterns, by planting good seed after good seed in the ground, even when there's no harvest in sight. That's the part people don't talk about. Everyone wants success, but no one wants repetition. Everyone wants the outcome, but few are willing to submit to the process. You don't need a miracle. You need mastery. Mastery of your thoughts, mastery of your time, mastery of your emotions. And mastery only comes through discipline. Discipline is spiritual warfare. Because every time you discipline your life, you're saying no to the version of you that wants to stay small. You're shutting down the voice of laziness, fear, and doubt. You're crucifying the distractions. You're building habits that will carry you long after the motivation dies out. And make no mistake, it will die out. There will be days when your mind is clouded and your body is weary. That's when your habits have to lead, not your emotions. We live in a generation addicted to instant gratification. If it doesn't feel good, we walk away. If it's not fast, we call it failure. But discipline rejects that mindset. Discipline says, I will keep showing up even when the results don't. Discipline knows that growth happens in silence, in secret, in stillness. That while everyone else is distracted, you're being developed. That while others are chasing comfort, you're chasing character, and character can't be downloaded. It can't be hacked. It can't be rushed. It's built one disciplined decision at a time. You want to be proud of the person you see in the mirror? You want to stand tall knowing you didn't give up on yourself? Then don't wait for the right mood to move. Move in the wrong mood. Move when you're tired. Move when you're frustrated. Move when you're overlooked. Because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Every act of discipline is a declaration. I'm not going to let my feelings write my future. I'm not going to let my weakness dictate my destiny. I'm going to be faithful to the vision even when it's hard to see. Discipline doesn't always produce immediate results. That's why so many give up. They go to the gym for a week and quit because there's no six-pack. They write for a month and stop because the audience hasn't come. They study for a year and complain because the promotion didn't happen. But that's not how the harvest works. The harvest comes in its time, not yours. And discipline is what holds you steady in the waiting. Discipline is trust in motion. It's saying, I believe this work will pay off, even when I don't see it yet. It's waking up and doing it again, and again, and again. It's not sexy. It's not flashy, but it's sacred. Because the disciplined life is a life of worship. It's honoring the gift you've been given. It's saying, I won't waste what I've been entrusted with. I will steward it. I will grow it. I will multiply it. And that kind of commitment moves mountains. You'll never rise to the level of your potential. You'll always fall to the level of your systems. And your systems are built on discipline. If you're not proud of your life, don't blame your vision, check your routine. What you do every day is shaping what you become. The small choices are not small. They are the brushstrokes painting the masterpiece of your future. The world won't always celebrate your discipline. It may not even notice, but you will. One day you'll look back and thank yourself for not giving in, for not giving up, for showing up. You won't always be motivated. You won't always be inspired, but you can always be disciplined. And in the end, it's not the most talented who win. It's not the most gifted. It's the most consistent. The ones who kept sowing even when nothing was growing. The ones who trusted the process. The ones who trained their body, their mind, their spirit to obey not emotion but conviction. Because when the lights go out, when the crowd is gone, when the storms hit, it's discipline that keeps you grounded. It's discipline that carries you forward. It's discipline that transforms ordinary people into legends. Asterisk, there's a hunger. Deep in the human heart, not for applause, not for fame, but for something much more sacred. That hunger is for meaning, for purpose. For the deep, quiet knowing that your life mattered, that your efforts counted, that you didn't waste your days chasing shadows, that you fulfilled the very reason you were put here. Real pride, the kind that doesn't fade when the crowd walks away, doesn't come from the praise of people. It comes from the fulfillment of purpose that so many are living for the next compliment, the next round of applause. But the problem with living for praise is that it's never enough. It's temporary. It fades. 1 minute you're the hero, the next you're forgotten. And when the crowd grows silent, when the spotlight dims, you're left with the only voice that truly matters, your own. The question becomes, can you look in the mirror and say, I honored my calling? Can you say, I kept the promise I made to the person I was created to be? True pride doesn't come from popularity. It doesn't come from the stage. It doesn't come from the opinions of others. It comes from integrity, from alignment, from knowing you stayed faithful when it would have been easier to quit. It's easy to perform when people are watching. It's easy to show up when the rewards are immediate. But what about when no one sees? What about when the work is hard and the applause is silent? That's where your real legacy is written. Purpose is not always glamorous. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it demands everything from you and gives nothing back for a long time. But there is no feeling in the world like knowing you stayed on the path. No feeling like knowing you fought through doubt, discouragement, and delay and kept going anyway. That's the kind of pride that fills your chest with peace when the lights are off and the room is empty. That's the kind of pride that isn't built on noise but on obedience. Purpose isn't about being the best. It's about being faithful. The world will tell you that your worth is measured by how much attention you get, how many people follow you, how much fame you collect. But real fulfillment comes from something deeper, doing the thing you were uniquely created to do. And sometimes that means walking roads no one understands. Sometimes it means working in silence while others shine. Sometimes it means being misunderstood, overlooked, even criticized. But when you know your assignment, you don't need approval. You need endurance. Living for purpose means saying yes to things others say no to. It means waking up early, staying late, forgiving often, serving even when you're tired. It means sacrificing convenience for conviction. And none of that gets you a trophy. But all of that builds a life that's worth being proud of. Because when you live by principle, not popularity, you build something eternal. You don't need to go viral to be valuable. You don't need to be famous to be fulfilled. You just need to be faithful to the vision, to the calling, to the gifts that were entrusted to you. What matters is that you finish the race that was set before you, not the race others are running, not the race that gets the most attention, but the race that was assigned to your soul. There is a kind of joy that can't be bought, a kind of fulfillment that can't be faked, a kind of peace that doesn't come from people's praise. It comes from purpose. From doing the work when no one's looking. From being the kind of person who doesn't compromise, who doesn't chase approval, who doesn't sell out just to fit in. It comes from showing up when you don't feel like it. From staying when others walk away. From building when others tear down. That's the work that leads to pride that doesn't fade. And the truth is, people will forget what you did. They'll forget what you said. But you will never forget the feeling of staying true to yourself. You will never forget the moments you chose purpose over popularity. You will never forget the nights you cried but still continued, the seasons you struggled but didn't give in, because those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments that build legacy. And legacy isn't measured in applause, it's measured in impact. It's measured in obedience. It's measured in love, sacrifice, endurance, and truth. A meaningful life doesn't come from outside validation. It comes from inner alignment. From doing the thing you were born to do, even if it costs you comfort, even if it costs you convenience, even if it costs you approval. Because at the end of your days, you won't be asking yourself how many followers you had. You'll be asking, did I do what I was put on this earth to do? Did I give everything I had? Did I run my race with honor? Did I grow into the person I was meant to become? That is what brings true pride, not perfection, not applause, not public recognition, but private faithfulness. Not what people said about you, but what you know to be true about yourself. That you stayed the course. That you didn't quit when it got hard. That you didn't trade purpose for comfort. That you didn't compromise who you were just to be accepted. That you gave your all, you held nothing back, you walked the road with your head high, not because others clapped for you, but because you did what you were born to do. You were not created to live an average life, to shrink back, or to settle for less than what your soul knows it's capable of. Deep within you is a purpose that cannot be silenced, a calling that refuses to be ignored, and a strength that's only revealed through struggle. This journey is not about speed, it's about surrender. It's about choosing growth when it's hard, choosing discipline when it's dry, and choosing purpose over praise. Every setback you've endured, every sleepless night, every painful step forward, it's shaping you into someone worth being proud of. You may not see the results yet, you may not feel strong yet, but you are further than you've ever been. So don't stop. Don't give in to the voices that say you're done. Don't hand your future over to fear. Keep pressing. Keep building. Keep believing. Because the moment you choose to keep going, despite the pain, despite the silence, despite the struggle, you become unstoppable. Not because you're perfect, but because you refuse to quit. Don't stop until you're proud.